What's up, everybody? Taylor just said she's never been on a YouTube video. So, first time for everything, right? That's how you grow. You try something new, you suck at it the first time, and then you get better. I'm not going to say you suck today, though. So, if you guys stay tuned, we're going to take you through a full leg day. I'm injured, so I'm holding myself back a little bit. I'm going to show you some tricks that you can use. If you want to learn how to train like a badass, just watch first parts of the video. We have arrived. Optimum Gym. Me, as always, late, but ready to get this leg day on with Taylor.
What's up, everybody? Bodybuilding Vegan here. So we had this wonderfully crafted, mic'd up leg day with Taylor, and I must have spent, I don't know, literal hours, probably 4 or 5 hours trying to find out why the mics weren't working. Well, they just were defective. So all of our wonderful conversations were not caught on camera. So literally months later, I'm trying to recover this footage, get some quality stuff out to y'all, and give y'all a little voiceover. So as I classically was, I know I was late for this workout. And at the time, I was dealing with a bit of a hip flexor injury, if I recall correctly. I think this was like the first workout back after I had hurt my hip flexor or my hip adductor, and it's actually still bothering me now. I forget exactly when we did this workout, but I think it was a couple months ago, and we're now in April, and it's still bothering me a little bit. But so things that are definitely safe for me are glutes, and I believe this is called the Glutinator machine. It kind of reminds me of doing like the frog movement when you swim. What is that called? The breaststroke, and you kind of have like the frog legs. That's what it reminds me of. Really, really, really strong glute contraction. So if you guys have never tried this machine and you get the opportunity, I do recommend it. It's pretty fun. Trying to remember what we were talking about. I think this was around the time of the Arnold competition out in Ohio. So I think we were talking about that some. So that would have pegged this workout right around March 1st, if I'm correct. So about a month and a half ago, almost 2 months ago. Oh, wow. But Taylor, she's new to the channel, as best I recall. She's one of my pretty good friends, actually back from Gainesville. Back in 2021, we both did a show together. I think it's the Hurricane in St. Pete. I didn't know her at the time. I didn't even know her until after. I didn't know until way later, seeing on her Instagram that we actually both happened to be at the same show. And look at this woman doing some yoga in the background. That's awesome. I need to do more of that myself. Anyway, so we did the Glutinator for a good bit. Fried our glutes, high reps. I really, really enjoy high reps for glutes. And then Taylor said we were going to do single leg, front foot elevated Smith lunges or Smith step ups. I don't remember the technical terms for these guys. But what I can say is if you do this movement correctly, you should, as she is demonstrating here. Actually, I don't even think she's demonstrating. I think she's just helping cue herself in. Taylor's a pretty advanced lifter, not so much in age, but just in technique and execution and how hard she pushes herself. I wish you guys could have the audio to hear her literally scream on some of the few sets later here. But I believe she was touching her glutes so that she could mentally check in, make sure they're firing, feeling good. And when you have that front foot elevated like this and you're driving through your heel, should get pretty solid. Excuse me, it's early in the morning. Pretty solid glute activation here. So I don't know what I'm mimicking or saying here on the camera, but no one will ever know because that didn't work. So what did I do? I busted out my blood flow restriction bands. These are a wonderful tool. If you've never used them before, you are missing out. So especially if you have an injury or you, for some reason, maybe you're taking a deload, you don't want to lift a whole lot of weight, these, based on all the studies and the science that I have seen, including people like Lane Norton, they help to allow you to grow with a much lower load. So when we typically train, the goal is to, move weight, fill the muscle up with blood, and force it to work. With the blood flow restriction bands, good Lord, I cannot speak this morning. With the blood flow restriction bands, they don't allow the blood that's building up in your muscles to escape both during the set and in between sets. So typically you would wear these for 3 or 4 sets on an exercise, resting 30 to 45 seconds in between, but you don't take them off. And what this causes to happen is all this blood and lactic acid builds up in your muscles, and they start to experience the same type of, I guess you could say, trauma that your muscles would experience with a much heavier weight. All these nutrients, and or maybe not even nutrients, lack of nutrients, lactic acid, these bodily functions that occur and normally are swept out by fresh new blood aren't allowed to be swept out. They just build up. And it's that prolonged building up of them that encourages your body to say, hey, we need to get stronger so that we can do more with these muscles. So basically, I use the blood flow restriction bands to keep the weight on the bar a lot less. I mean, if you look at this movement, I'm doing heel elevated, which will place a bit more emphasis on quads. I'm trying to stay very upright. Again, more emphasis on quads and glutes. And I have almost no weight on the bar. I mean, I'm sure if you guys have seen my Instagram, you've seen me squat 5-6 plates on a Smith machine. Now I'm doing just a hair over a single plate, and if you look at my face, it still hurts. It was a tough workout. Not ideal in the sense that, like, I wouldn't like to be stuck training like this forever. But on a day where I'm injured and I can't go quite as heavy and I still want to kick my ass, this is a great way to do it. I'm going to drink some tea. Or you guys say anything that I'm conceited and that my mug has a J on it for John. It's a gift from Allie, so no super conceited feelings over here. All right, so these are admittedly not my favorite movement, so I did not do them. B stance RDLs. And what that means is, and RDL is Romanian deadlift with dumbbells in this case. What Taylor's doing is she's putting one foot forward, and what this does is it puts the full emphasis on that front foot. So again, this one is going to be a very glute and ham dominant exercise. If I recall correctly, Taylor was really trying to hammer glutes on this day. So good exercise for her. She's pretty strong at those. I opted to go get a little bit more quad work and do some leg extensions just because I felt like I wasn't able to load those Smith squats without pain as much as I wanted to, unfortunately. So I was able to come over here. And I believe I was talking through this whole set. I don't remember what I said. But with the blood flow restriction bands, if I recall correctly, I would aim for like 15 to 20 reps, try and only rest for like 30 seconds, and then go right back into it. It's kind of crazy. It's an odd sensation. You like hit rep 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and then you go to rest. And normally when you come back from resting, you start back over. It's like rep 1 again. And then you can go for maybe 10 or 15 more. But with this, it's like you just did rep 20, you're going to take your rest, and you come back, and it's like rep 21, rep 22, rep 23. It's almost as if by leaving these bands on that you get no rest. It's quite intense. It's painful. If you've never tried these before, they are painful. I mean, you can just look at my face. So, when you're injured, should you train through an injury? That's another good question here. What I typically say, and I'm not a doctor, don't take this as medical advice. This is just what has been something I've done for myself. I will gauge the pain. If the pain isn't very high, let's say it's a 2 or a 3 or a 4, well, then as long as the pain is not getting worse, I'm okay. So like, let's say on those Smith squats, I felt a 3 on my adductor. That was about the pain I was feeling. And he's not taking a photo of her, guys. That's actually my friend. He's taking a photo of his other friend that he's there with. So I noted this. I just noticed this now watching this back. It kind of looked like he was filming Taylor. Anyways, If that pain is a 3 on rep 1, and it's a 3 on rep 2, and it's a 3 on rep 3, and it's a 3 all the way up until 12 reps, then I'll work with that. I can work with that. I'm okay as long as the pain's not getting worse. But if it's a 3 on the first rep, a 4 on the second rep, a 5 on the third rep, or even if it's increasing from set to set, then that's a pretty good indication to me that we're not getting better here. We're actually making things worse. So probably a good day to just take a full rest day and recover. Had to hop in and show the shoes. Taylor is an artist, so if you guys are looking to get some custom shoe work done, these were white Converses when I gave them to her, and she added all the beautiful animals. Looks like either we didn't record it or didn't show all of it, but we did some barbell RDLs, and I think we went pretty heavy. I think I went up to 405. I was aiming for like 20 reps, but I only got 16, so yeah, it's okay. It's funny how I can remember that, but I don't remember other things. So, adductor, again, is the area of pain. So, as you can see on the stack, there is dang near nothing on here. I mean, I think almost everybody that goes to the gym can do more than this, but again, I was just trying to go through the movement, put some blood into that muscle, and hopefully make it feel better. With these, you can definitely use your hands to assist on reps. I was also using my hands some on this just to make sure that I felt safe. I didn't want to go into a rep unable to safely complete it. So, same thing here. I believe I used the bands on these, the blood flow restriction bands. High reps. This is actually the exercise my coach says that I need to work the most on. My adductors are the weakest of my body as a whole. It's the weakest body part that I have, the one that needs the most improvement to have a complete and full physique. So from a bodybuilding perspective, I have been hammering these twice a week, really trying to get them to grow. Funny enough, that's the thing that's injured, so it's like I'm fighting an uphill battle, but hey, gotta do what you gotta do. I've noticed for these that if you need to get wider, the best tip I have is to kind of stand up in the seat and then widen it and then slide down in there. Otherwise, I just can't get the range of motion that I need. And big tip for these guys. You want to keep the working range of motion where you are able to naturally go. So this machine, you could load it up with a lot of weight and stretch past where your body is typically capable of going. But if you do that under load, that is how you get injured. That's actually what happened to me. I was doing single leg press. I have some mobility. I loaded that thing up. I went past where I could go on my own without weight. Like basically, where can your body handle going on its own, and not using the weight to help you stretch. And that's where I went, and that is how I got injured. I felt a pretty loud pop. So back to the video here, just still hammering these out, trying to get some blood flow in there. I'll normally do these about midway through the workout and trying to pop something on my leg because I like to pick it myself. Who knows? So I think I wanted to finish up with just a little bit more quads because, again, I still, even with the leg extensions, felt like I had a little bit left in the tank. So why not do some leg press? Again, this was a little bit different. This is a machine I have never used in my entire life. So I figured, hey, why don't I try something new? When in Rome, or this is actually called Optimum Gym, so when in Optimum Gym, why not? If I recall correctly, I was trying to use I feel like I'm on a lawyer's stand at court. Like, if I recall correctly. I do not recall. I don't recall what's going on there. But I would try to do really slow negatives. Oh, I do recall. I was trying to get more depth on the machine. But really slow negatives, use the blood flow restriction bands, pump up those quads one last time. Try to take something to failure, because I don't think, other than leg extensions, I really went to failure that day. Maybe on the RDLs, but not for quads. Oh, wait. I might be doing the 1.5 special. Kind of what this looks like. Yes. Okay. Hey, more free tips. The 1.5s. Try to get some more green tea to wake my butt up. So, you want to make something a lot harder? Do 1.5. So we go all the way up, all the way down, halfway up, all the way down, all the way up. So this allows you to kind of have like a partial rep built into your reps. And if we look at the exercise I'm doing, this is a quad dominant exercise, and my quads are probably, well, I was going to say they're going to tax the most of the bottom. They may be. That might, I don't recall for this machine. I don't recall. But anyways, it just makes it a lot harder, and it forces you to really maintain that mind-muscle connection and control every single rep. Like, you can't just fly through these. You can't do these super fast, not at least under any sort of realistically controlled weight. So just another way to play with the time under tension with the rep count. That's another thing, guys. Like, what's the magic rep number? There's so much to that. Like, you could do 20 reps at a speed of 1 second per rep, or you could do 10 reps at a speed of 2 seconds per rep. The number of reps is wildly different, but the time under tension, the total time that your muscles are working, is the same. So usually what I recommend is to find a way to standardize your reps, make the first rep look like the second, like the third, all the way up until the last one. And if the last one's a little bit ugly, then that's usually a good time to set that weight down. And by standardizing your reps, you can really track progress, because if you do 20 reps at 1 second each, and then the next week you get 21 reps, well, great, you made progress. But if you do 20 reps at 1 second each, and the next week you do 30 reps at half a second each, I don't know how you do that. It'd be pretty fast. But did you make progress? I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. At this point, I believe I was pooped. I just laid there like a whale out of water, looking at the camera, talking, thinking my microphone was working. Clearly, it was not. But yes, if you don't look like this after a leg day, like where you're just like stuck on a machine or stuck on the floor, you probably didn't go hard enough. Oh, going back for more. Doing some calves. Let's see if I have good form here, because so many people just completely neglect their calves. They just fly through it. See, I'm trying to get a really good stretch at the bottom, a really strong contraction at the top. This is how you should train your calves. I'm going to link this video to some people just for the calf training, because we have tendons and ligaments in our calves that allow us to bounce. Like, they're built for bouncing. Humans are built for running. So if we have that little tendon in there that can just help us bounce off the ground every time we run, every step we take, every step you take, that song, it'll let us run easier. But that doesn't train our calves. That just uses like a spring, almost like a built-in spring in us. So everybody that you see at the gym that's just flying through these and bouncing off the bottom, whether or not they're using lightweight or heavyweight, they're not really training their calves. They're just stressing out that tendon, and eventually it's going to break. So slow them down. Even if you have to go a little bit lighter, get that stretch at the bottom. That's according to my coach, the studies have shown that stretch is the most important part of the whole calf raise, because we do get some contraction walking around, carrying things, but when do we really like get a deep stretch with load on our calves? Pretty rarely, unless you do like single leg calf stretches like on the stairs or something. I'll do that before I go for a walk. Like I'll stretch one leg, put my whole body weight on one, try and get a good stretch. But again, do this under load, do this on a machine, do it the way I'm doing it here. High reps, slow and controlled, good contraction at the top, good stretch at the bottom, and I can just about guarantee your calves are going to grow. And I believe I was talking through this whole set. I have no clue what I was saying.
Anyways, so I hope this provides some value. How, if you're like me and you're injured, you can still train. Or if you're someone that wants to be like Taylor, you can review her footage and learn how to train like somebody that knows what the fuck they're doing. Basically, if you want to work out with me, that's awesome. But you gotta at least be training with me. I don't care what weight you use. I don't. I mean, she's strong. But like, you could lift 5 pounds, but if you lift the 5 pounds the same way she lifts, and we'll train together. If not, you gotta elevate yourself. But anyway, guys, make sure, there's probably some other videos on the screen. Go ahead, click one of those. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications. Send this one to all your friends, to your ex, to your mom, to your kids, to Alex's goats and his goose. Get it out there. Bodybuilding Vegan.